like start shutting down.
Yeah, so it's just kind of after losing, you just lose the confidence in a way, or
Yeah.
I see, I see. Yeah, that is pretty common with a lot of players, I would say. Yeah, that's all right. I think definitely, just even after identifying a few things, I think it's gonna be easier for you to not lose the confidence in the matches because you're gonna know exactly what you can apply or
Mm-hmm.
do better. But maybe if there's gonna be some difficulties still, I think we can address that in the future. I think you got multiple lessons as well, so it's fine if you just mid-weekly kind of see what's going on, yeah, what's happening. But yeah, I think it's good to start with just going over some short-term goals on the characters you play currently. So will be, yeah, will be the best, I think, to start with that. And
Mm-hmm.
your short-term goals, you mentioned that you wanna have a solid plan to help you improve. Yeah, that makes sense. Something we can do today. And you think that you need to work on your positioning, situational awareness, and understanding and aim. I see. Can you elaborate on that? Maybe anything specific with those themes you struggle with exactly? Maybe positioning. Well, what that would be, for example.
Like how I should be properly placing myself for fights as a strategist, because I mostly play in the support roles, which sometimes I do get a little bit too far forward. Um, and or sometimes I'm either not, or sometimes I feel like I'm not in the proper positions for some of the supports that are or strategists in Marvel Rivals.
I see. I say makes sense to me. Yeah, there might be that you need to keep an eye on your team just to be able to synchronize with them a little bit more. Maybe it's just general positioning of the characters. Understanding that, I think with a lot of strategies, just supports overall, you should be able to force out things if you have good position. If you're able to do so, kind of bait the attention. I think that's quite nice. We'll go over that in this session actually, but yeah. Okay, is there anything else? Your situational awareness, understanding your aim. So, out of all those themes, what do you think you struggle with the most? Is it just positioning, or
Um, I'd say to start, I guess we can start with positioning.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
Aim is, however, like I would say a second thing that I struggle most with. Just for some of the characters that are in the strategist role, like
Mm-hmm,
Luna Snow is a hit scan character, and even
mm-hmm.
Adam Warlock. And I know for them, those are characters that you need good aim for.
Hmm. I see. Yeah, I see. Yeah, there's quite a lot you can do. Actually, I think first of all will be the most beneficial to just see what your positioning is, what kind of decisions you
Mm-hmm.
have that can improve your aim overall. Those kind of games like Marvel Rivals or Watch, it's always the case. If you're able to solve your decisions and positioning, then it's easier, becomes easier to aim. But yeah, if there gonna be any other details you got in the game, the aim, especially if you play some mechanical characters, we can go over those a little bit more. I think. Yeah, makes sense to me. Well, current rank is Gold 2, playing strategist, 40 hours of playtime per week, playing PC, and your characters. You didn't specify, but I think you mentioned that on Discord that you play Luna Snow and Cloak and Dagger for the most part, or is there anything else you play?
So other heroes that I play, or actually, let me just pull up the statistics. So,
Of course.
looking at the top, I'll just say the top three characters are Luna Snow, Cloak and Dagger, and Rocket.
Luna Snow, Cloak and Dagger, and Rocket. Yeah, sounds good to me, actually. And you have those two main characters you play. I think that's what you need to do in the learn term. So it's gonna be easier to just work on all the micros and be suitable in any situation. Yeah, I'd say it's good. It's good hero pool. All right. Yeah, I think everything else that you mentioned the form so far makes total sense. Do you have anything else to mention maybe before we start looking at your replay today?
Um, Not at this time. I'm sure that if something comes up, I'll ask it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, during the session, feel free to ask any questions. I also gonna take notes. Meanwhile, you can also do the same if you want. If
Mhm.
there's anything specific, yeah, you wanna just note for yourself. I think feel free to do that. And yeah, we can start. What kind of game you want us to start with then?
Um, Let me see.
Yeah, if there is any good game you think,
Um,
we can just share the replay ID and we can
a
watch it with you.
good game. Give me a second. Let me scroll back through my history. All right.
Yeah, take your time.
And then yeah, just went to the latest game that I know I won in competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we can start with there. That I think was a good one. And then you said to share the replay ID.
Yeah. You just pretty much give me the replay ID, send it in the chat here. It's always the best. If you have somewhat of a close game, just where you played well but still lost is one of the best one to go over, typically.
Okay, so look for one that was closer.
Yeah. Usually, if you see kind of the really long game, that's a good representation of it being kind of close, typically. Yeah. So I would just go
Okay.
over, yeah, and make sure you also play the characters we want to go over.
So
Should be good.
then instead, I got a new player ID to send you then. This is when I was gold. I'm currently a plat 3 now.
Of course.
But I think this would be a good example. Where is the server? There it is.
Yeah. And I'm gonna screen share as well. Okay, should be all good.
Yep, I'm typing the replay ID now.
Yeah. Take your time.
All right, I just put it into the chat.
Yeah, let's start with that one. Let me know. Can you see the stream just fine?
Stand by. Hang on. And yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, perfect. Can you let me know what kind of chat you send me? Send the replay on. I cannot see.
Oh, I sent it in our chat here. I could DM it to you if you need to.
Wait, I just cannot see, unfortunately. Yeah, this chat here, the voice channel, it's not. Seems like doesn't show yet. At least
All
maybe
right,
there's
no
some
worries. I'll
difficulty.
send.
Yeah. Maybe
No worries.
just
I could send
Discord.
it to your DMs.
Yeah. Just send it DMs. It's fine.
All right,
Perfect.
I just sent it to your
Yeah,
DM.
perfect. Okay, let's start with that one. So in that game, what do you think you struggle with the most? Is it still positioning sort of stuff, or is there anything else? What do you think?
I really don't remember this game. I just scrolled through and went to the score. So, um, but I'd say like at this point, I think I was trying to keep it in mind of like what I was doing, of what I was of with all those prior issues.
Yeah, makes sense to me. What's your name in here?
It is so on PC. It'll be DSE Angel.
DC Angel. Perfect. So you also play console, or?
Yes, I play on both platforms.
I see. What kind of platform you usually prefer?
I've been leaning more towards PC ever because I'm still like I've been transitioning to PC and I've been preferring it more
Mhm.
so than console.
Yeah, makes sense to me. I think with this game, it's also more beneficial with all this chaos and just overall how much stuff is happening with the aiming, positional stuff, I think PC is more
And
preferable
even
usually.
noticing the difference between console players versus PC players. Like
Yeah.
I noticed PC players are generally better, and that's what I like challenge.
Yeah, exactly. That's usually the case, at least in those kind of games. Yeah, if you're talking about the other
Hmm.
kind of maybe they're fighting games, I think console is definitely the priority. But Marvel
Hmm.
Rivals, Overwatch, PC is the first. Okay, now let's see what we do. So we're starting here. Maybe any thoughts? Just starting with you fundamentals. What do you think you need to do on support? What's your job basically? What are you looking for?
So right now, just trying to, for one, not be up front. Just trying to like be in the back, kind of
Mhm.
just let other players do what they need to do, but also try to set up openings for them and or to like keep them alive like as much as possible.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Um,
Okay. What about
yeah,
pressuring
that's
an enemy team? When do you start pressure them? When you just do damage towards them as well?
when I start seeing like either when someone is low and a DPS can't clean it up,
Hmm.
I'll just I'll try to put in some damage, or if odds start, or say if they drop a member down, or the odds. Sorry, I'm still trying to. I'm saying this all wrong.
That's fine.
So when I notice that our DPS start getting picks, then I can start doing more damage.
Hmm. I see it. I see. So this is something I think probably if we would address this first and if we fix this first, the priorities on when to deal damage, when to heal, I think you can improve your rank significantly just in the long term. So what is that about is I think you're right when we just need to, well, let's say somebody's low, maybe your team is getting kills, yes, you can focus on the damage there quite a lot, but what's important in those kind of games, and it's similar stuff. Have you played Overwatch actually? Did you?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so you
I've
mentioned they've been. Yeah.
hmm I've played Overwatch.
Nice. What kind of role you play there?
So on Overwatch, I've mostly I play support.
Yeah, mostly playing support as well. Yeah. Do you remember how do you prioritize damage over healing and support on Overwatch? What have you been looking for there?
So on Overwatch, I've and you're saying like which one do I prioritize over like between the two, between
Yeah,
damage
typically.
and
Yeah, maybe
typically
starting with that. Yeah.
typically healing. Usually if I see people getting low
Mhm.
or are taking damage, I'll go to heal them, and then once they're healed up, then I would transition to dealing damage.
Yeah, I see. I see. So this one is exactly what a lot of people, this common mistake a lot of people do is they focus on the healing quite a lot, but in reality,
Hmm.
your most attention should be focused on dealing pressure, just dealing damage. Why is that the case? Is because in games like Marvel Rivals or Overwatch, your damage output is always going to be higher than healing output. So if we're
Hmm.
just focusing on healing and trying to out healing common damage, this win condition will never work in the long term. Yes, it works, sort of. Sometimes, obviously, when we're healing critical members, maybe somebody's active, but overall, if we 90% of our time spending healing, then there's a high chance you lose the match, just statistically. Okay?
Hmm.
Does it make sense to you?
Okay.
Yeah.
So to make
Hmm.
sure I understand it, try to do more damage
Hmm.
to enemy players rather than trying to focus on healing someone that's taking damage in the fight.
And this is where it becomes interesting because you still need to heal, right? It's just you want to
Yeah,
identify.
if this now turns into like, hey, when should I be healing someone, and
Yeah.
when should I'd be doing damage? Because like I could hop into a fight, see someone that's critically low, fighting someone at full health. Maybe in that case, I would probably want to heal them first rather than do damage. But
Yeah.
if the roles were flipped to where I have someone who's like taking like maybe a quarter damage, and where there's someone who's like critically low, I'd rather it be better to just do the damage to clean up the fight.
Yeah, so sort of. Yeah, it's always all about those specific triggers most of the time. If you're able to identify those, and I think what you mentioned there about anybody who is being active on your team, you want to prioritize healing them. But I think
Mm-hmm.
this alone might be also not enough sometimes. But yeah, it's usually quite good. Yeah, it's usually quite good to start with. If somebody is active, let me try to heal them. Let me start just support them. Okay, so I'm gonna write it down. Yeah, healing active. Yeah, we need to heal active. And if somebody's not active, my team's not active, let's start shooting stuff. And now, what do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody on your team who needs healing at the moment? And well, let's start with active. Let's start. Who is
So
on your team
as
is
of right
active?
now,
Yeah.
as of right now, there's no one that really needs healing.
Well, I sort of don't need. Let's just start with the term
Or
active. Yeah, how do we
okay,
understand? Yeah, let's just start with that. I think. Who do you think is more active in the field at the moment? What it feels like?
right now it would probably be the Namor, since noticed the that he has his squid up
Hmm.
to initiate the fight, and maybe, well, yeah,
Maybe Thor.
that's who I think is
Yeah,
maybe the Thor, because he's
yeah,
already positioned himself to attack someone that's gonna enter that cross section
yeah.
along with the Captain America.
Exactly. So see, your thinking is a lot of based on their position, and I think this is really good. If you look the exact position of the players, it's usually they typically will be more frontline. Yeah, to just simplify, if they're in the front line, they're most likely to take damage. This guy, he also takes this. This is what I like to call off angle on the
Hmm.
on this area. They have better vision. They're not exactly playing main with the rest of you guys. Well, usually most of the people play over here in the choke, or they fall back to here, which I think is not the best way of playing this map. But anyway, yeah, a lot of people tend to stuck around the point. So
Hmm.
this guy is really active. This sword is really active. Something we can keep an eye on just based on the position. Okay, but here comes another thing, because they have a certain position. It's not just enough for you to start healing them. Yeah, you can also just
Hmm.
look at, are they actually receiving pressure? Are they actually uh, being pressured with something? And a lot of times when people see somebody is actively damaged, yeah, there's maybe, well, maybe not actively even, maybe there's just a cheap damage, I think, which is going towards your name, or they would just start healing them, not stop. And this is what maybe what you're sort of trying to do here. You anticipate that, well, this guy might take a lot of pressure, yeah, and this is where we just start healing them a little bit just in case, maybe, yeah, there's gonna be some
Hmm.
damage, yeah. This is, I think, how a lot of times for support players goes. But you don't have to do that either, I think. You can find this trigger to just start healing them based on their HP, I think. The most consistent, and that's what I've been doing with Overwatch 2 students as well. If we have this guy going kind of just losing 40% of his HP or 50%, that can be good enough for you to start healing them more actively. And why is
Hmm.
that the case? Is, well, it's just first, you can bait a lot of the enemy attention this way. Another thing is, meanwhile, while this guy's dropping HP, you can do damage towards an enemy team. And if I'm doing damage towards an enemy, then those guys will be more scared to actually walk and shoot this guy. So even right now, if you would shoot those people, maybe this Magneto will not take the bad angle. Maybe somebody else, like their enemy Thor, they will also not be able to walk in more free. Yeah, this Black Panther, they're not able to do much behind the doorways, but let's say they walk
Hmm.
here, maybe you also pressure them, you know, Namor can stay alive. It's just the trade, which generally speaking, and you can see it now, you would deal more damage than healing as well. So we can farm well, we'll charge better too. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just two things: position and start paying attention to, are they critical or not. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna write down. If they're critical, losing 50%, maybe start with 40%, so it's gonna be easier. Then you start healing them. But before, you just pretty much can try to damage, I think. You don't have to do much, even though it feels like, well, those guys are doing something. But you see, in reality, all that time, I think around what 18 seconds, there's been no shooting towards your teammates either. But
Hmm.
this is good enough. I think this is good enough to start healing this, and you see the enemy commitment too. You have the committing abilities. You can start doing something. But now you can do the damage. Do the damage. Nobody needs the much support, and later you can try to start healing. By the way, I'm not sure how it works with the damage bullets on your teammates. Actually, this mechanic where if you hit something, I'm pretty sure if you hit something when somebody's close to you on Cloak and Dagger, you also heal yourself because it works like AoE heal. So I'm pretty sure,
Hmm.
90% sure, if you hit an enemy with your healing, if they're really close, then you're also gonna heal your lives too. So it's just the way because it's AoE. It works like
Hmm.
AoE. So I actually need to test this one exactly. Do we hit enemy? But I'm pretty sure if you hit enemy who's close to you, then you get the healing. So it should work the same way for the your team as well. But regardless, it's just really important to not exactly heal too much. I think. Actually, I can do some testing in a practice range right now. Later after we watch this one. Mm-hmm. Now, so we got quite a lot of abilities too. I'm thinking what it can do with those. Yeah, what's your thoughts? How do you usually use your abilities? When do you get in a cloak form and such? Yeah, what's your thoughts?
Usually when enemies start getting too close, or if we're putting pressure and I notice enemies nearby, and when I think I need to do damage, that's when I'll transition to cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly. The only other time I'll transition into cloak is for when I need to use his ability to cover or to like avoid taking a high damage ability.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If there's just a lot of pressure, you can press your right click and get away, get away from the enemy. You can also save your teammates if they're close as well. You can save
Mm-hmm.
them from a lot of stuff too. But yeah, I'm thinking just with this in mind, yeah, if we're trying to prioritize pressure, what is a good time for you to also just start being in the cloak and use this blind or like Discord ability? See, okay, let's just look at because I think you're just gonna transition. Yeah, right now you're just gonna be in the cloak and start using this. So what's this? Is it a good one or could be looking for anything else with that? What do you think? What are you looking
And
for with those kind of the windows usually? Yeah, what is that about?
oh, so that window was to try it because I noticed enemies were pushing up. So
Mm-hmm.
I put the window
Mm-hmm.
so this way it'll blind them, and it does give a damage buff to my teammates. So it's to
Mm-hmm.
try to help them get picks or do damage
Yeah,
as they were
exactly.
entering that choke point.
Yeah, I think this is good enough. I think this is good enough. See, we're just looking at because we looked at it from one perspective of let's try to kill our active members. Let's just try to pay attention to them. But before that, you can just freely shoot with your long range weapon. As a cloak, you're just not able to. You need to be closer usually. So yeah,
Hmm.
just not able to do any pressure from far. But yeah, once an enemy team is also being active, you can start doing something as well. You just always need to identify again those triggers. Yeah, when do you use your offensive abilities or when do you use your defensive? To keep it simple, we use defensive ability to support, enable our allies based on two things. So far, yeah, we got positional, and we also got if somebody is critical, maybe yeah they start losing a lot of HP. But it's same goes to the enemy team as well. I think if you can just look at okay anybody who's positioned really far forward, anybody who is committing actively. So I think you can start throwing this window pretty much. I think that's a good one. Yeah, let's just keep watching. We'll just get more examples and see are we getting the best value out of our abilities. By the way, it's just through this lens of what we discussed before. Yeah, your
Hmm.
abilities, your so it's your shield. Yeah, so this is your more stationary kind of the
Yeah.
healing. Well, let's call it field. Yeah, your healing field, and you also got this window which is going towards your team. Yeah, maybe you just trying to place it somewhere. What do you think? Is it good? bad one, just kind of in terms of, am I enabling something active at the moment with this field? What it feels like. Oh, by the
Um,
way, it's I
wait,
think it's yeah.
that one is the one is mine. That other
Yeah,
one is from
I'm
some is
always getting
Thor's ability, I
confused.
think.
Yeah, let me
Yeah,
check again.
trust
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Yeah,
right
I
there.
saw
This is
something
yours.
go there.
Yeah,
That is mine. And then Thor uses his ability,
yeah,
which
yeah,
you're
yeah.
about to see trigger.
Yeah, it's all right. So, what do you
I
think
make
about
the
that
same
one?
mistake. So that one was, I think that was mistimed or misplayed.
Hmm.
Um,
So, what is based on? Why it's timed or misplayed? So, see, it's kind of just
okay.
yeah.
I think what happened is that I was anticipating something else to occur there,
Hmm.
but I couldn't see past the wall, so I preemptively
Yep.
threw the light dome at them.
Yeah. So, what do you think would be better time? Just based on what I mentioned before as well. What kind of
Uh,
things you can be looking for?
that I probably should have held off on using that ability and waited and should have
Waiting for
had
what? Waiting for what exactly?
for should have waited for a better opportunity to use the light
Hmm.
or the healing or that like area of effect
Yeah,
heal
yeah, yeah, of course.
for a more to try to negate a more impactful ability that someone has on their team.
Let's just okay. Let's keep it simple because I think all of this you can. Let's say there are a lot of micros we can watch out for, right? But just
Hmm.
based on what we said before, when we start healing the most active member, what that was based on for us? What were two things you need to watch out for?
It was positioning
Mm-hmm.
the and who was set up. No, that's still positioning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The HP. There was another the
Yeah,
HP, right?
their HP
Yeah.
and positioning.
Yeah, exactly. So position wise, looking good, but HP wise, not looking good. Yeah. So it's just
Yeah.
this is how you look at it. It's just I think because there's a lot of ways to look at the things, but you can always simplify. And right in the game, it's hard. I think those identify to what are you looking for exactly. But it's good if we just look at somebody who is critical, and once they start taking pressure as well, then you can use your field. I think that's good enough, really. So yeah,
Hmm.
let's keep watching. Yeah, it's just with all those things in mind, and this is how you can think about your window as well. Of course, there are a lot of details, a lot of this stuff. Um, you can also anticipate from their team what kind of cooldowns they're using. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And see your window now. Let's watch.
Yeah, I wanted to do the other window, but I was too slow in getting that out.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just. Oh, you wanted to do another window, or sorry, what did you mean?
Oh no! So when you see someone's gonna try to peel back,
Uh huh.
and then I try to heal them, but I didn't get the healing window out in time. But you see me try to do it anyway, even though I see him fall over.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So it's just something to probably once we see them critical right now, I think maybe could be better time, and they're already in the best position to do so. Yeah, because they're frontlining. Like we said, that is something you can prioritize. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah. So this is how we're gonna think about it always. So are we doing healing, damage, healing the most active members, and damaging if there's nobody active? So right now, should we heal or damage?
Right now, damage.
Yeah, just go for the damage. Just start applying pressure, and that's good enough. And even this guy, I think you can start healing them just slightly later. It's alright once they. Yeah, so right now, no need as well. If there's some self-sustain with the characters too, you can be more forgiving. You can just keep the damage, and yeah, that's a little bit awkward with the position, but fine, you get out because of the right click. Okay, so this might be okay. This here, when we see this guy, they kind of lost some of the HP. This is the tank as well, so it's more forgiving. But I think this is fine. You don't have to keep them topped off exactly. But they're active. They lost 40% of the HP. Oh, you heal them up, and later you can start applying pressure again. Even now, I would just put priority on how do I just push the enemy back a little. It's the same thing as an Overwatch. You don't need your place to be topped off. You first of all need to make sure you get rid of the enemy. Just get rid of the enemy first, and later you can start healing. Right now, again, it's shooting the enemy back, okay? If there's nothing else to do, then you can heal, though, of course. If you just don't see an enemy in your sidelines, pretty much, you can do that. Yeah. Okay. So this window is fine. I think your window has been alright. So again, it's just disabling the most active pressure from the enemy team. It's based on their position. Yeah, disable enemy active angle. You can also do some other stuff as well, but I think the window is one of the biggest tools for you. Yeah, to start using your ultimate. Also go for your own. So just kind of to counter their push. That's what you've been looking for there.
Yep.
Yeah, I see. I think it's good, well-timed. You also want to probably use verticality there a little bit more if you're just trying to go in that form and right-click. Try to solve the enemy's aim a little. Maybe they split the attention. But other than that, I think it's alright. You can live through. Sure, can blind the Thor. And this is the time where, yeah, I think it's gonna be a little bit difficult, I think. Because they surround you and they're just multiple people shooting you. So I'm thinking, so the same, with the same thoughts in mind, what kind of angle we should be shooting? Yes, there are people on the point, but look at where your other teammates are as well. What space you should be supporting? What space your attention should be on? Is it this one or anywhere else, you think?
Probably should peel back towards where my teammates are in the choke because they're still interacting with that off angle.
Yeah. Make sure just get rid of these people. And yes, objective is important, but it's always more important to win the fight for you. So win the fight first, touch the objective second. You don't have to worry about the objective, especially when we're just playing support versus their tank on the point might be pretty difficult. The tanks are designed to control the objective, control the space around them. They're quite good at just getting rid of you really fast, especially Thor. They have a lot of burst. So put more attention on supporting active angles. You will be supporting just shooting first, and later you can start healing. But I think pretty much all of that damage you would just keep shooting there, keep shooting their Jeff, keep shooting their Black Panther. Probably would support that guy there, and yeah, you would not worry about the Thor killing you as much. Of course, there's might be a chance to go after you. In this case, you can always go in the cloak form, you can try to escape and such, but yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, see, just the target priority solves your safety as well quite a lot. It's just, I know who is being active in the field, always watching them. Okay? Yeah, does all of it make sense so far, or any questions?
Well, so far it does.
Nice. Well, team's fighting point quite actively. Yeah, now can heal this up, and this is where just slightly more attention on, I think, the pressure. Do not overheal, especially if they just have the self-heal. I think this is where you can stop if they're not critical anymore, and especially with the self-heal. Let them heal up and get the shields. They even heal up faster because of it, so this time you can be more useful and just farm your ult charge with the damage. That's why this rule is kind of universal, really, with all that healing. If somebody's critical and taking damage, then sure, start doing something. Okay, what do you think you have to do? What is your position here, and how do you support the active angle? So it seems that we want to support your Thor, yeah, but how you would position here? So there's a
yeah, at this point, like, there's really not much that I could do in this situation. I probably would have been better that when I was moving up initially, seeing my teammates coming back, it probably would have been better for me to fall back with them and let them have the point.
Yeah, but we mentioned that we gotta support the active angles as much as possible, right? So, and
Hmm.
there's actual activity. There might be chance. We still can turn this around, especially with that your team is regrouping currently. So you got 4 people,
Okay.
and yeah, I think there might be chance. There might be chance of winning, especially you got your Iron Fist. Yeah, Iron Fist Ultimate. Yeah, he also might be close to Namor.
Hmm.
Really soon, most likely will not get it this fight. But anyway, there's a chance. Okay. So if we're trying to support the most active angles here, what's the play? Do we just play in the back there, or anything else to do?
We could probably go towards the. We can either play back or we can try to get in onto the point with the Thor. Are the only things that I could see that are probable.
But remember, if you're on a point, it's gonna be dangerous for you because
Hmm.
of just how close we are to. Well, first of all, the enemy tanks, the short range pressure, and your effective damage, your effective range. What is that? How far you can be while supporting this?
That I think it's like if we can provide long range support. It's I think it's like 20. Give around roughly 20 meters or more.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. There's quite a lot. Well, you actually, I can just look at the exact stats for Cloak and Dagger. So your primary fire, okay, so it's just normal. Yeah, just normal fire. When we
Hmm.
do the damage, you do 15 damage per round. Yes, we also do healing per 10, so 10 per hit. And your fall off, actually, okay, your follow, I'm pretty sure there's kind of almost no follow. I don't know. Doesn't say exactly what's that, but let me see. You just intuitively, it always feels that you can play quite long range. I just want to make sure that you have we have the numbers. Let me see. Okay, cloak and dagger. That's what we need. Yeah, but basically, if you go in a practice range, you because of your shots, because those can also bounce, I think you can provide the support from quite long range. Okay, so I'm just reading. So okay, what we got is your primary fire on dagger. Yeah, dagger special effect. I think there's no fall off. I'm pretty
No, not for dagger. I think there is for Luna Snow though.
hmm. Yeah, it just doesn't say exact the number. I just don't sure. I'm not sure what is that exactly. So it feels like I think you're right. Probably just want to be the pretty accurate. Well, anyway. Okay, there seems no exact uh no exact number, but it's fine. Usually, when we're trying to apply pressure, intuitively, what it feels like when I'm somewhere over here, or I'm somewhere over here, or maybe I don't know, maybe I'm here. Doesn't matter where you're still able to apply effective pressure. You're still able to actively heal or damage. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's just with the exact numbers. This is not the most accurate yet. Yeah, I will figure this out. Maybe the exact number, but intuitively, this is always how it is works. And if I'm trying to support this area, a lot of times you don't need to. You don't need to be on the same area with your team. You can just keep your effective damage, just keep your effective range, and should be good. So see, if I'm not walking point, where you can walk at this point of time?
I could probably walk towards the doorway that we see on the right side.
Yeah,
I could probably
possibly.
walk towards there.
Yeah,
This way, it
possibly.
gives me a sight line onto the tank, as well as it also puts me in a position to where I could rotate out of the fight if I need to.
Yeah, that's what I think too. You might even take that position just right away because a quite long range character. I think if just we able to anticipate where the fight is gonna go. So usually people they choose the shortest route. Okay, there's quite a lot of happening, and then you try to just get in the fight. You don't have to take the same route where most of your team is. So like maybe somebody's being chased, like the Iron Fist. Okay, they're being here. We can
Hmm.
try to take your time, take another route. There's also stuff what you can do with your when you're in a cloak form. You can try to go up in the position and just stay somewhere on the high ground as well. This is also possible. You just want to be careful with using that exactly when you close in the fight, but one of the possibilities I think you can definitely set up. So the active thing we need to look for really is just keep your pressure low range. To simplify, that's about it. Yeah, we don't need
Mm-hmm.
ever walk in the area usually. It's just the matter of depends on situation what you want to do. You may rotate, you may just use your cloak form and try to go up. Yeah, really don't know why there's no doesn't say exactly the fall off. Yeah, I'm interested. I will check this out later. Yeah, usually there's info on the website. I can check the exact number, but intuitively, yeah, your range is really low. It's kind of similar to Ana in Overwatch, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ana's there's no follow actually in Overwatch, but yeah, just the map sidelines. I think that's how it feels like.
Yeah.
That's what they allow you to do. You see, by the way, this time, so we just had we've been adding this another layer of you can set up. Yeah, you can set up and support your active angle meanwhile. So let's start with who is active on your team at the moment. What angle is setting up
Right now,
for the fight?
it's for Namor because he's taking another off angle.
Yeah, exactly. And what you can do with your position to help them out. Where can you be?
Um, where could I be? I could probably have tried to either use my cloak form to get either to his position or onto the box that's to my character or to my
So,
left, or I could have gone
so another
into
one.
that pathway up there
Yeah,
where you have your camera.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, really long range, really nice. I think that's what you're looking for. Probably might be difficult to exactly stay on the same angle, and actually, I would prefer you staying on slightly different because it can create the crossfire. But this is how you go for it so far. You try to set up at the long range and vertical angle. Just make sure you have the escape back because you're going to be getting your cloak form. Just make sure you
Mm-hmm.
have it back when the actual fight starts. That's why typically right before the fight, invest the time into setting up. That's completely fine. You can just try to go in a position. Like right now, that entire time, see how much time we're standing there, you could be already setting up. So this
Mm-hmm.
entire time. And free damage. Remember, free damage before the fight too. Really, really nice. Okay. So now we actually get in a fight, but then this guy scares us. And see, because there's no angle control, this one ank can show off your entire push. Sometimes maybe force you to use your abilities unnecessarily because
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of stuck on the main as well. And then this guy runs in, kind of silly, but yeah, that's fine. Okay. It's good attention on the Black Panther, sure. Now, there could be more effective pressure simply. See, there, I think Cloak and Dagger, they have their ultimate already. I think with all those slight adjustments to your gameplay, slightly more damage, and the better setup, if you're able to just, because you see the enemy, you have the better line of sight, I think it's gonna be easier for you to get your ultimate as well, right on time, when these guys are doing something like that. Yeah, using your form as an escape is fine. And yes, this is okay too, using the shields just for yourself. If you realize you're the one who is receiving a lot of pressure, you critical HP, that's fine. I think using your shield, self-healing field is completely fine. Jeff went really far, okay. Punish them, sure. Now pushing up, helping out Thor. So you're just kind of trying to help them with the field there, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see. By the way, it's just because there are two things you can do. It's either use your field or use a window to support the characters. What do you think you use? What is the priority? When do you use what? When do you use field and when do you use your window? What do you think?
So if I remember how the abilities work correctly, is that window what it does is that it'll help accelerate healing,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the dome is just a healing area of effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it would probably be so like if I see someone who's critical or really low and I need to get them up quickly, I would initiate with the window followed up by either me healing them with daggers or follow it up with with the healing fields depending on how critical the situation is
Yeah.
and if abilities are available.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. So in this case, what do you think? Should you use your window then, or the field is fine
Um,
right now?
I think the the field.
As it feels
It
like
may
it's also
have
getting
been.
not as much value too, right? It's just because of the
Yeah.
what this guy sent it up, but just yeah. What do you think?
Well, the window may have, probably would have been the better one to initiate with, since he was at
Mm-hmm.
the at critical,
Mm-hmm.
and plus with him going to high ground, the field doesn't really reach him.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. So I'm just thinking to simplify. Usually with those abilities, you really most of the time when you use your window, use it to enable any sort of movement. Usually, if your targets are moving in or out, it's usually better to use a window, I think. And your field is more stationary, so it's sort of in the way you just hold an angle somewhere. You support those active angles. So I'm thinking this guy's moving out. Okay, maybe he's not gonna hold the same position. I think it's completely fine if you use your window right now and later enable him. Obviously, if he's not in line of sight, yeah, I can just try to do something else, but usually that's how we can go about it. So supporting the most active and just prioritizing window on the movement and your shift. We can talk about that more later, I think, for sure, but just be careful. Something you can be mindful of regarding the mechanics. I think for now, just good enough to start with. I'm enabling active angles, and what's my setup looking like? So what do you think? Right now, what your setup should be, by the way?
Um, that I should probably try to get onto that elevator, or like try to get onto high ground with
Yeah,
like across, not
yeah.
necessarily with my teammates, but on the high ground adjacent to them. This way I could either create crossfire angles and be able to support them from another high ground position.
Yeah, and this is quite long range sideline too. That's what you're looking for. Long range verticality, you're gonna be fine. And you
Mm-hmm.
can support the Namor who's been active or Captain America, depending on situation. But I think this is good enough, really. Just try to go there and see you will not end up in the space where you're forced to use your defensive ability unnecessarily. Because this is what it's gonna be looking like a lot. If we start down main, a lot of the cheap damage might come, and there's just no clear opportunity for you to sometimes isolate the threats, kind of just disable the active angles in a way. You
Mm-hmm.
see, kind of falling back instead of maybe holding the space with your active angles, and because you fall back so much, now you eventually end up
I'm
isolating
now,
yourself. Yeah.
yeah, because now I'm away from my team.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Maybe we can turn the fight around. Who knows? Could have turned the fight around if you also use your ultimate before. If you kind of just hold the position over there and keep in mind supporting active angles, pretty much. I think yeah, maybe that Lunar Snow I could have supported. Maybe those guys
Mm-hmm.
over there. Stuff like that. Your ultimate, again, same stuff. Support your active angles, I think. Why not? You can start with applying pressure, though. A lot of good Cloak and Daggers, sorry, they start by aggressively using their ultimates as well. They just initiate so their team can push, maybe apply their own pressure on the enemy backline. Stuff like that.
So like here, I could have used my ult. Is what you're saying?
Well, you
Because I
could.
clearly have it.
Yeah, it's just I think you're not in the right space to maybe it's not only physically but mentally as well because you're actually getting pushed. You're thinking about your survivability. That's why I think it's hard for
Mm-hmm.
you to make a decision. If you would be more deliberately choosing the right position, like I'm trying to hold that better angle. I have a good angle already, and if I'm getting pushed, then I'm supporting my active angle, so myself. And this is just more. It seems like there's a lot of chaos. That's why it's hard to make that decision. But yeah, you could realistically use it right now. What's stopping you? Yeah, there's just normal push, and you can go for it. Of course, you have to watch out for their ultimates as such, but you technically, especially when we're just climbing from somewhere, well, it doesn't matter. It's just always good, not depending on the rank, to see how we can be proactive and force them to use something. and survive meanwhile as well while doing your active pressure. So I'm thinking, what can provide a threat to you really? I don't think much actually. There might be, if there's could be something like Magneto. When you're in ult form, you can be damaged. I'm not sure. Can Jeff actually eat you when you use your ultimate? Do you know that? I don't know because I'm not sure.
For which ult?
If you use your own ultimate,
For
can they eat you?
if I so if I'm Cloak and Dagger, I don't think so. I know for Luna Snow, he can't eat. He can't eat her while her ult is active.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think you're also fine. Yeah, it's just if we're trying to anticipate some of the stuff on their team, maybe something what can just destroy you while you're ulting, I think it's also fine then. In this case, you can definitely initiate. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm thinking. Well, I know there's just 6 minutes of us looking at this, but what do you think if we try to play and apply some of the stuff what we mentioned so far? So it's just more enabling active angles and setting up to do so. But yeah, what
Mhm.
do you think? You want to do that?
Um.
If there's opportunity for you, of course, to play on PC right now. If not, we can continue with the replays. But yeah, it's all
I don't
up
know.
to you.
I'm currently on my PC right now.
Yeah. So do you want to try a
Um.
game?
Sure, we can.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. Okay, then you can just screen share and let's try. Let's try to make sure you set up and most importantly damage and then active angles enabling the anybody who's active. Yeah, I'm gonna stop my stream then and we'll exit the replay. Yeah, it should be good. Later, I think we can dive into more other specifics, like about your abilities. I think we can also look into some other stuff like target priority, but start with fundamentals always, I think, is the best the best thing to do. Yeah, do you have any questions maybe so far as well, or
Not at this time.
okay.
Okay, why is it saying stream paused?
You, I think, make sure you can lower the quality. I think just in case because it might be a little bit laggy, if just for you if the quality is that high.
Okay, now it's saying the stream's running.
Yeah. I'd say, can you look at the quality? Might be good to reduce it so your gameplay you will not lag in the game.
Uh,
I just go on the stream settings. You click on the screen share and there is a setting where you can change your quality. Because most of my students, when they run on 2K, so it's 1440.
Oh
You're
no,
gonna lag.
mine's currently at 720p 30 frames.
Yeah,
Is there a way for me to adjust it,
yeah, there's a
or
way.
well, how do I adjust that?
Yeah. You basically when you click the share your screen, there's gonna be an
Hmm.
option. Once you choose your screen, you can choose your resolution. Just choose your 720 resolution and should be okay, or maybe 1080. Because otherwise, my morale is lagging a lot. I think.
Okay, so I'll drop it down from 1440 to.
720 1080 is fine. Just for your performance, yeah, making sure you get the good
Hmm.
FPS.
And then grant access. There we go.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, it's working good. Nice. Yeah, let's do a game. If you're comfortable with doing competitive, we can do comp. If you feel like you warmed up, if not, we can just do quick match. But I usually recommend, yeah, competitive is the best. But up to you.
Uh,
Up to you.
we'll do competitive.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so your attention is just on the active angles and pretty much damage before that. Damage before, and it should be good. Okay. And a lot of mechanical things will be solved as well. Once there's a good setup and you're also in the right position. You know who you shoot, when to shoot. It should be quite easy to solve. Alright. And there's...
We're just waiting on
Yeah, there's
one player to
Exadius.
load in.
Yeah, I see that. They're loading in, it seems. It's alright, happens sometime.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think it's fine if we just keep playing Cloak and Dagger. There's no problem. Pretty good character in any situations. You can just lock in. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, get Penny, Winter Soldier, Hala. See, a lot of your attention might also... You can even here anticipate who will be active with the angles. And just look after them a little bit more. Maybe your Hala, maybe sometimes Winter Soldier as well. But I think most of the time Hala, they will try to go on the deeper angles. You can try to keep attention on them slightly more. Yeah, even on defense, yeah, it's always gonna be the case. And I recommend against setup, even though you're on defense, don't play point, take high ground. Take high ground, depending on where your team is. Either left side or right side, doesn't matter. Just start on the top. They might change portal, yes, but if they do, then rotate.
Yeah.
So from here, you can rotate towards the another top. Just keep that in mind, anticipate that.
Oh.
It's okay, you have time to also, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's alright if you're in a cloak form, just take verticality too, don't worry about that as well. Okay, from here, start damaging first, if they walk through the choke. Just keep the damage. Your shots can bounce, remember, so it's good if we just hit in the general direction. This is good. Good so far. Nice. Remember, your self-heal, self-field can heal you up. It's alright. Yeah, you have to... Yeah, with this... With the shots, you have to be close to something. Yeah, so see this Punisher?
Okay.
When they're shooting you, you can get close, start shooting them, and this is how you get healed, I think. You cannot... Yeah, I don't think you bounce... Yeah. You cannot heal yourself other than... If the shot's getting activated, or you have the self-heal on the field as well, if you use it for yourself. Okay. Once they healed up, you can start doing pressure as well. Setting up is good, okay.
Oh, shit.
That was close, that was a good attempt. Right, good support. Okay. That's alright. They use some ultimates, but you have yours, so... Might be good for you to start initiating the next fight once it breaks in. Don't worry, I think you can definitely start with one of your ultimates. Once you tank initiate, usually. Looking good. Okay, good damage. And now start healing. Oh, okay, almost. Try to find your fallback options if possible. Keep the long range going after. Once you cannot be in a cloak form, just think what is that long range verticality I can take. Don't just fall back, but kind of go on the sides if the map allows you to as well. Okay. This time you can keep up with the pressure actually a little bit more. Just once they're no critical. Yeah. So once we see the marker, then you start healing. Now you can do damage again. Yeah, good attention on the angles there. Yeah. It's okay, reset, take another fight. Set up first, and damage and support the active member second.
Alright.
It's always good to find some piece of cover as well, just in case, once you on those long range angles. It's okay, you have your ultimate soon. This is something what can stop the snowball, pretty much. With this, a little bit too close, a little bit too close.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just reset, you have the time. You can farm your ultimate. Okay, your team's winning. Well, once you heal them up, you can start doing damage again, but just watch out what angle we're trying to damage. Can they push them back? They might flank left. They might also... Yeah, I think the left side is the most impressive. Make sure you have the long range angle, though, somewhere, so you're not playing too close to your team. Yeah. This is the time, yeah, exactly. This is the time you can use to do this. Have the angle. And, yeah, intuitively should be just good enough. Okay. Okay, looking fine. And damage before the fight. So see, you don't have to be in the backline constantly. It's kind of damage before the fight. Once the enemy walks in, make sure you also have the range later. And that's good. Okay. Damage now. Okay, once... Yes, sure. Open up the angle instead. Don't walk, but open up the angle. Okay. That's alright. You guys can still touch, yeah. Actually, especially, yeah, your Venom and Penny. Just keep your long range angle going. Don't walk forward, but open up the angle. Any good? Yeah. You can walk forward only if you have an advantage. If you don't, then keep the long range. Too close. You walk forward. You need to keep the angle, or... I know you're aware of this Moon Knight, but you can also not peek him if you want. Just be careful. Stay at your angle a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah. Have the long range. If you don't have a good long range angle on the enemy, then rotate to another one. But never walk to point. Never walk forward if there's no reason for you. Always open up the angle first. Okay. From here, you can open up from the right side if you want. If they walk that deep. Yeah, it's usually the right side's better, yeah, because you're able to see their spawn. Okay, now you gotta give up space, though. Oh, never mind. Your Bucky goes in. Yeah. Was good damage on Punisher, too. Blind, really low. Yeah, you can bounce shots and shoot them, actually, behind the wall.
Mm-hmm. I'm tracking. His passive ability allows him to see where I am.
Yeah.
Damn it!
That's alright. Still doable. You guys have spawn advantage. Still doable. Okay. Careful, open up the angle first. Don't walk on point. It's not your job. Yeah, this is good angle. Right where you're at. Okay. Nice, looking good. Yeah, this is what you want to do more. As long as you have this good position, low range, and at the same time supporting the right people, and obviously damage before the fight, I think, should be good. Of course, you can walk forward as well if your team's taking space, but always prioritize open up the angle first. So you see, it's just always having a longer range first. Okay. But the first point might be challenging, but the same idea applies. You can try to take angles. Your field, in a way, your healing field can enable you going in more aggressive if you want. Sometimes you can just position yourself on the more creative angles, and if somebody goes, then you can use your healing field on yourself too. There's no problem. Alright. Oh, it's really a nice hold though on the third point. When you pin on the slow range angle, that's what you want to do most of the time.
Alright.
Okay, let's go.
Behind us.
Yeah, I'd have been sneaking a little bit. That's alright. Try to take the top if possible. Once your team walks through, you even can invest your shift and try to go up. Just keep your healing field so if somebody goes on you, you can save yourself.
I'll go to Mag.
Alright.
I'll go Mag and play damage.
Nice, you got a pick. I can just walk. Have the long range angle going. It's good attention, good stuff. Yeah, taking high ground is great. And keep staying here. Free damage, free value for you. And free healing, of course. That's good. Nothing else we can do right now yet. It's good, 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 good. Need to retake your positions. So after you've done this, I think just try to set up again would be really good. Was good value there with ultimate. Yeah, you got a tick too, so not bad.
Get on it.
Make sure you set up too. Possible, yeah. This is good enough. Oh, watch out for, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to try to heal them as they spawn.
Yeah.
Because they only spawn with like 100 HP.
Yeah. That was good, nice. Looking good. And keep up the same idea. When you're pushing up the second point, you can try to set up long range angle and attention wise. Yeah, right now we can damage, by the way. And you can set up as well. Damage and setup. Mm-hmm.
Can I get healed behind you guys?
Yeah, the guy, yeah. So that's alright.
Sorry, I was responding to the call. Someone
Yeah,
wanting
no,
heals.
no, yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, I heard that too.
Nice.
Oh, it's just funny because he was not exactly behind us. It's okay. Alright.
Go strange, go strange. Doing the building.
Long range angle, set up on the lawn. So we can move left or... Yeah, just open up the angle. Okay, never mind. Can escape. That's alright.
There wasn't much I could have done with 2 ults in my face.
Yeah, it's alright. You can reset.
Back up, let's all regroup. Half of us are dead. We should do big regroup here. Venom, you can swing in and ult. Kenny,
And damage before the fight as well. Try to see. Just kind of throw the shots in general direction, yeah. There's a guy in turret. He's up in that position. Can you stay there, actually? You see that? On the up left?
Yeah, no, I saw that turret.
Yeah. I didn't know you can stay there. Oh, wait, he's... Wait, what? You can stay there? I didn't know you could stay there, actually.
I didn't know that either. That's new to me.
Yeah, it's really new to me, too. Wait, what? You can...
Yo, Kenny.
That's... This guy is cheating. Don't walk towards point. Just walk away and keep the long range angle. Just see right there. Go left side, for example. If you wanna help your team behind the corner, just don't walk point. Keep this.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep your long range angles. This is always gonna happen. This stuff, like ultimates, random damage, always gonna kill you. You can anticipate it, yes, but not the biggest thing. So once... This guy's crazy. I want to watch the replay. How he's staying.
Oh my, I'm stuck.
Camping on top of the roof. This marker's just camping on the roof. He's lit. You just hit him behind him. Kill the marker. Portal behind us, portal behind us. He has no heals, he has no heals, he has no heals. By the eye of Agamotto. 1 HP?
Nice, okay, good.
Get on that point, get on that point.
You don't though. You stay away. Stay away from objective.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay.
That calls more for like
Yeah,
the
for your tanks,
for
yeah.
everyone else.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
not so much me.
Of course. Nice. I see you saving your life easily there because of it too. Just gotta clear the objective now. You need good.
Yeah, no.
You can, yeah.
Damn it.
Was close. Okay. Yeah, I think just up. Huh.
He does no heals.
Maybe winnable? Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, wait. Oh, you got the objective. I missed that part.
Yeah, we got the objective.
You got the objective
right
right.
during the
Yeah, right when he
while
killed
we were
you.
watching the replay.
Yeah, that's okay. Right, so if your point turns right, you go left. Take the angle on the left because of the long range. Open up the angle. You can walk because the fight's gonna happen around the point, but just make sure you have the long angle on the left. Yeah, right there. This is your sidelines. Yeah.
Back up.
Yeah, looking fine. Just try to survive, and farm your ultimate. That's it. Okay, that's alright. You guys can touch one more time. Maybe you might farm your ultimate as well. Might have time. You're on 80%, so it's doable.
We have to jump on it.
You have to
Oh,
go
nice, huge. Just got a touch now, and yeah. Keep the long range. Keep the long range and ult whenever. Right. That's good. Set up again. Mm-hmm. Keep the long range. Keep the long range. We can open up the angles later. Yeah. Nice, good.
crazy comeback.
So this is how we do it most of the time, I think, with the with the positions and such. Yeah, there's a big urge to try to go on point, but once you don't do that and you're just consistent in this position, you can see it's just so much easier, I think, to control the map and just to control the objective. Yeah, just control the point. By the way, can you send me this replay real quick? I wanna show you something as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yes, I am sure you've also noticed I do play controller on PC.
Yeah, that's alright. That's alright. It's alright.
It's just I've been a console player, so for me trying to learn mouse and keyboard it's a struggle.
Yeah, no problem. I think I would just say maybe if for the launch I'm aiming for playing PC and committing to this game, I usually suggest you just make the switch as soon as possible because this way you get the long-term value. It's just easier. This kind of game, there's a lot of chaos and just turning mechanics-wise, especially I think it's gonna be really important. But yeah, you can decide. I think it's possible to be in controller, but this game is again similar to Overwatch, and players on mouse and keyboard in Overwatch have always been having an advantage, mechanical advantage over the controller, but yeah, it can be possible. Okay. Yeah, I got the
I
code.
also
Yeah.
DM'd it to you just in case.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So
Alright.
the
I'll
main
stop my screen share.
yeah, you can join my stream. Yeah, so the main takeaway from this, I really like the setup a lot when you're on this long range angle. Just be careful when you walk forward towards the position, especially when your team is pushing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Continue. I'm sorry.
No, it's alright. It's just the pattern I noticed, I think. It's gonna be these aspects for you. You see that when they turn around the corner and such. But our first instinct is usually try to push forward. I want your first instinct instead of pressing W or S key, because this is what happens when you're under pressure as well. Your first instinct is what I call linear movement. You start either moving towards or away from your team. Yeah, so it's either
Okay.
well, on controller it's not WS key, but you know what I mean. It's just go
But
forward,
yeah,
go-
I understand. Don't worry, I know what you mean
So it's
when you use the
yeah.
computer terms.
yeah, exactly. So instead of that, I just want you to try to do more press left or right instead of going forward or backwards, especially with your character, because you got quite long range with that. So, for example, even on the third point, yeah, might be a good example. If I'm just holding my objective, let's see, I'll just wait for it to load. Okay, so the first point is here. Yeah, a lot of times this might happen. When I'm near the objective, I just can die to a lot of random stuff. There's a lot of damage. So instead of this, rather maybe have, if you want to hold this, just hold here. Maybe, yeah, you can have this. Or I can have even further away angle here. Later, if my team walks, I have this sharper sideline on this area, this choke. But again, it's not that I will be staying main lane. You rather lean towards this. So see, this is gonna be a longer sideline. Yeah, if my team walks constantly. And
Okay.
what you did on the first point, pretty much, was a good example as well. Your team walks, you don't walk on point with them, but you just stay on the top right, and you're gonna be on that side lane in a way. I think the first fight we kind of died yeah, the fight after.
Yeah, the first one I died because I didn't see the Punisher flank me because he
Yeah.
came at an angle where I couldn't see him.
Yeah, that's alright. Happens. So when
Yeah.
we start walking now, I think there was really good setup. Example with, yeah. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So this here went up, got a position, was really nice play, and nobody can punish you as well, so it's fine. If you invest the time, just use this ability, even though it's an escape. But yeah, it's possible to set up with this too, and have good sideline, control the objective, can do heal or damage depending on the situation. Only one thing I would keep in mind is your field you can be more selfish with this sometimes. You can be just using it for yourself if you're getting pushed. There's quite a lot you need to do about how you play cover as well to stay alive, but it's fine. I think that's what you're looking for overall. Just make sure you fix this. And by the way, on the second street, when you guys are going to be pushing, same thing applies to angles. So a lot of people would just kind of walk forward, walk past the street here, take space. But see, a lot of time maps gives you the long range angles option. So I'll go here instead of staying there. Or if my team turns here, again, I'd rather do not walk forward, but search for opportunities on how to open up the angle. I think from here, maybe you have this window right now, or I think here you can also destroy some of these walls and just stay. By the way, I'm really interested. There was a second point. I'm just interested in how that guy, he was he was staying up in that position. It was crazy. I think when remember, yeah, never
Yeah, this
saw
I
that.
gotta see though. Is
Yeah.
like, yeah, I've never seen that either. Like in all the games I've
What is
played, I've
that?
never seen someone get up there. That's fucking nuts.
What is that? No, you actually, and how he got there? This guy is cheating him. Okay, that's much. Okay, so he is using his hook, and he actually can stay there. Yeah, I didn't know he can stay up on that roof. So he can pretty much just walk. Yeah, our Penny will try to contest them, but yeah, he's just sitting.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there. Interesting. Okay. So our team walks and destroys the turret. But yeah, this guy's playing comfortably here. I didn't know. Nice, alright. Yeah, well, so far, let's summarize. What we got out of today with you? What do you need to work on based on our session?
So based on our session is to try to continue with taking more vertical angles and trying to use my long range abilities more, as well as avoid making the those linear movements that I was making, like pushing towards the point or trying to move like directly backwards from it. Try to take other approaches that'll give me better sight lines.
Exactly. And remember the target priority. How do you... Yeah, what do you do exactly with your damage and healing and such? What do you need to keep an eye on so far?
And keep an eye on with the health totals. Make sure that, or start healing people once they're around like 50 to 40% of their health, or health removed from their health pool. That's when I should start healing them. But aside from that, just keep up with damage to try to create windows of opportunity for the DPS and or tanks.
Yeah, exactly. You pretty much in the game you see this this marker, this rod marker. You whenever they're critical, you see that, so you can start healing that more. Before that, you want to start doing damage, and your angle, when you set up, it allows you to do that comfortably. If you have the good one, you're just able to apply some early pressure before the fight. This is always valuable. And there are a few mechanics as well to just like stay alive sometimes, I think, with the field and such. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that more later as well. By the way, yeah, not forgetting your shots can bounce too, so your long range angles you can be quite creative too. Yeah, there's a lot of things.
So try to so even though I see someone behind cover, try to like hit behind them. This way the shot could ricochet because it'll redirect towards them, right?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of things with just, yeah, exactly. You can, I think you can even sometimes just try to, so see, if I'm in danger, let's say I'm getting damaged, so those bots are shooting, yeah. You can also heal yourself if I do this, so I just hit them, like right now, I start
Okay.
healing myself too. This is quite nice mechanic too, because see, there's a small field. You can see that, yeah. So as long as your shot is kind of connected to something, and within that 80 meters field, I think it is also some way to get you self-sustained. But that's why. Maybe having somebody with you on the angle sometimes is not too bad, but most of the time, again, I would prioritize how do I do pressure. Maybe somebody goes in you and you bait them, you place your E, and then you can also use the... Oh, sorry, you place your right click, and then you use your continuously, try to heal yourself on damage with your primary fire. But yeah, we can talk about the abilities later a little bit more too, but I would start with position and just damage over healing so far, based on the triggers we talked about. Yeah, let's see how that's gonna go. Okay, does it sounds good to you?
Yep.
Alright, any final questions for today?
Um, is it possible that I could get the notes or your notes from this
Yeah, of
session?
course. Yeah, always gonna send. Always gonna send the notes and such. So there's no problem. Yeah, we.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I will send you the notes, and we also got 2 more sessions. I believe. Yeah, you picked the option to just be able to schedule 2 more. So,
Yes.
what do you think? Yeah, what kind of day you want to aim for to do our next sessions potentially?
Um, as of right now, let me just look at my calendar. And how far out do you also do your or like are is available for your scheduling?
Yeah, well, it depends. Usually it's more complicated with Sundays. I see that the next Sunday is completely booked, and the Sunday after I'm
I
gonna be
know.
away, but on weekdays it's more free. So, like, far ahead, well, how far ahead? Usually, if it's maybe 4 days in advance, I think it's fine. Yeah, kind of you message me, let's say Monday, probably I will know that, well, maybe we can get session on Thursday or Friday still. It should be available. Right now it's kind of busy because, yeah, Marvel Rivals and Overwatch was 2 games together. But,
Mhm.
yeah, I think usually if we schedule just a week in advance, it's usually, yeah, always good.
Okay. I do, however, have things going on like because for me I work like I'm in the military and I work usually Monday to Fridays on days,
Hmm.
and then there's also times where I am also in places where I am gonna have to like be away from my console for longer periods.
Hmm.
Um, let me see.
That's okay. If you don't know
And you
right
said,
now,
and
then
you said which day, which sun? You said next Sunday was
yeah, so
not
next
available,
Sunday's
correct?
yeah, so next Sunday and the Sunday after. But the
Hmm.
Sunday, so it's gonna be 2nd of March is available. So if you wanna have this big of a break, then yeah, we can set up on something on 2nd of March.
Yeah, I can do the 2nd of March.